Come join Rosie and me as we travel on Celebrity Eclipse on a 14-night cruise, January 18th through February 1st. Our cruise started and ended in Miami and included ports of call in Aruba, Curacao, Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. On Friday, January 16th, Rosie and I drove from Milwaukee to Chicago, where we stayed at the Hyatt Regency Airport that night. Saturday, January 17th, Rosie and I flew from Chicago to Miami on American Airlines. In Miami, we stayed at the Grand Doubletree Hilton in a large room with a balcony. The views from the balcony were breathtaking. Sunday morning, January 18th, we could see the Celebrity Eclipse from the balcony of our hotel room. Before we board the ship, let me tell you a little about the ship. The Celebrity Eclipse debuted April 29, 2010, and holds 2,850 people. The Celebrity Eclipse is a very modern ship. The ship features a stable of themed dining venues consisting of Murano, Tuscan Grill, Bistro on 5, and Cuisine. Outside on Deck 15 is a half-acre of spongy grass, surrounded by a glass-blowing studio with daily shows, and in the aft, the Sunset Bar. The ship also features an outdoor pool, an indoor pool, a cellar masters for the wine enthusiast, a casino, and a martini bar. Finally, there is a magnificent atrium, luxury shopping, a card room, a 2-story library, and a wonderful art collection. This ship has it all. Our balcony cabin is located on the front angle of the hump. Because of the location of our cabin, our balcony was 2.5 times larger than a regular balcony. The view from our balcony was breathtaking. At 4:30, it was time for sail away. We signed up for the unlimited specialty dining package, and on night 1, we ate in Murano, featuring contemporary French cuisine. Good morning! Monday, January 19th, a sea day with warm temperatures and gentle seas. After breakfast, Rosie and I sat on the balcony. At 10 o'clock, we attended the Cruise Critic Celebrity Connections Party, followed by a gift exchange. At 2 o'clock, we had a cabin crawl, where we had the opportunity to view different types of cabins on the ship. Later in the afternoon, we wandered the ship and looked at the extensive art collection. Monday was formal night. We had dinner in Murano. Arriving back at our cabin, we found a coiled snake. Good morning! Tuesday, January 20th. Another sea day and more calm seas. At 3:30, we started our poker run at the Sunset Bar. A good time was had by all. We had dinner in Cuisine, a quirky restaurant that offers a culinary journey that delivers elements of surprise and delight. We had a delightful sunset during dinner. Good morning! Wednesday, January 21st. Welcome to Aruba. Our shore excursion for today is 2 snorkel stops with lunch on a boat called Magicia, which translates to My Sweetheart. As we left the harbor, we sailed by the Eclipse. After about a half hour, we were in the area of our snorkel stops. After a delicious catered lunch on board with rum punch, the real fun began. The rope swing. If you go to Aruba, I highly recommend Magicia for a sail and snorkel. We had dinner at the Tuscan Grill, a specialty restaurant with an Italian theme. During dinner, we had a spectacular view of our 8 p.m. sail away. Rosie stopped for a photo on our way to the Molecular Bar, where things got icy. Good morning and welcome to Curacao. The high today will be in the lower 80s with plenty of sunshine. Curacao lies just 35 miles north of Venezuela and is a culturally diverse nation. Our shore excursion for today is to the Sea Aquarium Park, where an open water pumping system lets animals live in their natural ecosystem. We walked through the park first, and at 10:30 we went to the Dolphin Academy to swim with the dolphins. Personal photography during the dolphin swim was not allowed, and the photo packages they wanted to sell were outrageously priced. At 5 o'clock, it was time for sail away. Rosie and I had dinner in Murano. Good morning! Another sea day. We started our day with a 45-minute walk on deck 4, and at 11 o'clock, we went to a wine tasting. At noon, Rosie and I were invited to a special lunch in Murano that featured steak and lobster. At 3 o'clock, there was a slot pull, which I had organized with 46 cruise critic members. Dinner was in Murano, and the meal was special this night because the maitre d' cooked for us. We paired the steak Diane that the maitre d' cooked with Camus wine. The steak Diane was the best steak I have ever had on a ship, or land for that matter. Small scoops of gelato for dessert capped off a perfect meal. Good morning and welcome to Grenada. Our shore excursion for today is to walk to the fort that's up on the hill. As we exited the ship, the steel drum band was playing. The stairs in the path that follows to Fort George are very steep. Fortunately, it's a short walk. The view of the ships from the fort is spectacular. From the top of the fort, we could see the city of St. George and the horseshoe-shaped harbor. Rosie and I walked back to the ship for lunch. After lunch, we walked back to the city with our new cruise friends, Bonnie and Joe. We had drinks with Bonnie and Joe at the balcony overlooking the harbor. Back on the ship, we had some more drinks on our balcony before sail away. Rosie and I watched a gorgeous sunset from our balcony before we met Bonnie and Joe, and Ginny and Chris in the Molecular Bar for drinks before dinner. The six of us had a marvelous dinner in the Tuscan Grill. Good morning! We're preparing to dock in Bridgetown, Barbados Our shore excursion for today is a sail and snorkel on the Silver Moon. The large cat can easily accommodate 24 people, but on this exclusive sailing, it was limited to 12. At our first snorkel stop, we snorkeled with the turtles. During our turtle snorkel, we had 5 turtles in the area. After our second snorkel stop, we cruised along the coast to a calm, secluded place for lunch. The skies were clear and the water was calm. It was time to eat. Flying fish, mac and cheese, barbecue chicken, and more. After lunch, it was time for a swim, and then we went back to the harbor, passing the Celebrity Eclipse. I highly recommend Silver Moon. Back on the ship, we met Bonnie and Joe and Ginny and Chris to watch the sunset. Dinner was at Miranda. I had New Zealand venison. For dessert, Rosie had strawberries with ice cream covered in a crepe. Good morning and welcome to ruggedly beautiful and lush St. Lucia. For today's shore excursion, Rosie and I are going ziplining on the Adrenaline. With our gear on, it was time to walk into the rainforest with our guides, Krista and Tony, to the platform for the first of our 9 zips. Rosie is ready to go, and there she goes. After a few more zips, it was time for the rope swing. Next up was a 60-foot rappel. Now you know why it's called the Adrenaline. With 9 zips, a rappel, and a rope swing, I highly recommend the Adrenaline. Back at the port, it was time for a local brew. For sail away, Rosie and I received a special invitation to be part of a group on the helipad at the very front of the ship. Rosie and I had dinner in the Tuscan Grill. Good morning! We're preparing to dock in Antigua, an island nation with 365 beaches. Our shore excursion today is the Adventure Antigua Extreme, a 60-mile circumnavigation of Antigua and its 365 beaches. Let's go! With the 45-foot speedboats, 3 225-horsepower motors, we were at the North Sound in no time. The next point of interest is the world-famous Hell's Gate. Next, we stopped at Stingray City to swim with the stingrays, but not before we had some punch to get up our nerve. Swimming with the stingrays was a blast. Both of the extreme speedboats stopped at Green Island for lunch. After lunch, it was a wild and wet ride on the island's south shore to go to the Nelson Dockyard. Nelson's Dockyard is a cultural heritage site and marina in English Harbor. The dockyard is named after Admiral Nelson, who lived there from 1784 through 1787. Next, we went snorkeling at the Pillars of Hercules. Our final stop was at the extremely secluded and beautiful Rendezvous Bay for a swim, beachcombing, and some drinks. Our circumnavigation was nearly complete. I feel the need for speed. As we approached the harbor, our circumnavigation was over. I highly recommend Adventure Antigua Extreme. Rosie and I watched our sail away from Antigua from the balcony. We had a fantastic day. We witnessed another spectacular Caribbean sunset. Dinner was at Cuisine, where you order on an iPad, and your meal consists of many appetizers with different tastes and flavors. Good morning and welcome to beautiful St. Martin. For our shore excursion today, I had organized a group of 26 Cruise Critic members to go to the beach in front of the Holland House Beach Hotel. When we arrived, the beach host, Roy, set our group up with 2 chairs, an umbrella, and a bucket of beers for just $25 per couple. The view from the beach was mesmerizing. We had lunch at the bar and around 3 headed back to the ship. On board the ship, we met up with Bonnie and Joe and Ginny and Chris for sail away and to watch another magnificent sunset. Good morning and welcome to sunny and warm St. Thomas. Rosie and I walked 2.5 miles from the ship to the greenhouse where we had lunch, which consisted of an assortment of appetizers and beer. On the way back to the ship, we walked through Yacht Haven. We had drinks on our balcony for sail away and the sunset. Just after sunset, we had dinner in the Tuscan Grill. Good morning and welcome to a lazy day at sea. At 10:30, Rosie and I were part of a group that was invited to tour the navigational bridge. The bridge tour was extremely interesting, thanks to our friend Tony for including us as part of the group. Even a partly cloudy sunset at sea is beautiful. Rosie and I had drinks in the Sky Lounge before dinner in Murano. Good morning! Welcome to a windy and cloudy, lazy day at sea. Rosie and I started our day with a 45-minute brisk walk out on the deck. Our day was filled with packing, lunch at Murano, and our last chance at the casino. By evening, the weather had cleared, and we were treated to another spectacular sunset at sea. We had our last dinner of the cruise in Murano with Bonnie and Joe and Ginny and Chris. It was an excellent meal. Sunday, February 1st. Oh no, the day we had dreaded. The cruise is over. We're getting kicked off the ship. As the sun rose over Miami, we found out there was a blizzard in Chicago. Our flight was canceled. After 3 more flight changes, we would now fly to Jacksonville today and to Chicago Monday evening. Monday evening, as the sun set in Jacksonville, we were preparing for our flight to Chicago. We were coming home a day late, but we had memories to last a lifetime. Photos and video by Bill Raffel. Music by Kevin MacLeod.